Have you ever felt like life is pulling you in 1,000 directions at once? Do you sometimes struggle to stay calm, focused and grounded while chaos spins around you? Have you wondered how to stay strong, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even when everything feels uncertain? If any of that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Because today we're diving into the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher who lived centuries ago, but whose insights are more relevant than ever. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. If you're on a journey to better yourself, mind, body and soul, this channel is here to help guide you forward with wisdom that lasts. Be smart, be strong, be unstoppable. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a formula for living well. And Stoicism, especially as taught by Marcus Aurelius, shows us exactly how to make it real. 1. The inner battlefield. Every morning, as our eyes open to a new day, we step onto a battlefield. But unlike traditional battlegrounds, this one is invisible. It doesn't exist in the outer world of noise, chaos, or conflict. Instead, it lies within us, quiet, intimate, and persistent. The enemy isn't a rival or external force, but our own inner resistance. This is the true struggle. It's the fight between who we are and who we aspire to become. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, understood this inner conflict better than most. Despite commanding armies and ruling an empire, he knew that his greatest battles were waged in the silence of his own mind. His reflections in Meditations reveal a man who wrestled daily with doubt, fear, anger, and the urge to abandon his principles. And yet, he found strength not by suppressing these feelings, but by observing them with clarity. This is the essence of self-awareness. The first step to winning the inner battle is to recognize it's happening. Our minds are filled with thoughts, some helpful, some harmful. Without awareness, we become puppets to our emotions. A single moment of irritation can spiral into anger. One anxious thought can derail an entire day. But when we pause and reflect, we begin to reclaim control. Think of your mind as a city under siege. The invading forces are fear, anxiety, distraction, and temptation. These forces don't knock down the gates all at once. They slip in through weak spots, moments when you're tired, stressed, or uncertain. They whisper lies. You're not good enough. Why even try? You'll never change, and if you believe them, they win. But the Stoic response is different. Rather than reacting blindly, the Stoic responds with intention. Marcus Aurelius teaches that we must train our minds to see clearly, to step back from the rush of emotions and ask, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Or is it just noise? This pause, this moment of awareness, is your power. When you cultivate this habit, you become more than just reactive. You begin to live with purpose, and more importantly, you identify the true enemy, not the difficult coworker, not the bad luck, not even the unfairness of life. The real enemy is the part of you that resists growth, the voice that clings to comfort, that avoids challenge, that dreads change. That's the adversary, and so every day is an opportunity. Not to conquer the world, but to conquer yourself. To choose discipline over distraction, courage over fear, action over procrastination. The Stoics didn't believe in waiting for the perfect moment. They believed in this moment, right now, as the place to train your mind and win the daily battle. Because the truth is, no external victory will matter if you lose the war within. 2. Be smart. Practice discernment. Intelligence is often mistaken for the ability to recall facts or sound impressive in conversation. But real wisdom runs deeper. It's not about sounding smart, it's about being clear. It's about knowing what matters and what doesn't. In a world overwhelmed with opinions, distractions, and surface-level thinking, discernment is a superpower. The Stoics taught that wisdom is the cornerstone of a good life. But wisdom isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you practice. And it begins by learning to examine your own thoughts. So much of what causes suffering isn't what happens to us, but the way we interpret it. We attach meaning to events that are often neutral. We assume motives. We imagine worst-case scenarios. This is where discernment becomes essential. To be discerning means to strip away illusion, to ask, what is this really? Is this anger justified, or is it wounded pride? Is this anxiety rooted in reality, or is it my mind playing tricks? Is this failure final, or is it feedback? The Stoics challenge us to look at life as it is, not as we fear it might be. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That's discernment. It's the ability to shift your focus inward and separate what you control from what you don't. It's refusing to be pulled into drama, panic, or endless speculation. Let go of the need to control how others see you. Let go of the urge to chase every trend, every piece of information. Wisdom is found not in knowing everything, but in knowing what to ignore. The Stoic sees clearly because they value clarity over comfort. This also means learning to say no. No to distractions. No to people who drain your energy. No to habits that waste your time. A discerning mind knows that not all opportunities are worth chasing, not all thoughts are worth entertaining, and not all problems are yours to solve. Be smart, but not in the way the world expects. Be smart by staying calm when others panic. Be smart by focusing on what lasts when others chase what fades. Practice discernment daily, and you'll find a clarity that cuts through the noise like a blade. 3. Be strong. Build inner strength. Strength has nothing to do with noise. In a culture that glorifies dominance and bravado, it's easy to forget that true strength is often quiet. It doesn't need to prove itself. It doesn't need to be seen. Inner strength is the kind that endures when no one is watching. It's the strength that carries you through sleepless nights, broken plans, and silent battles. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor facing constant wars, plagues, and betrayal. And yet, he never let external chaos dictate his inner peace. His writings are not full of rage or revenge, but clarity and compassion. Why? Because he built strength from within. He trained his mind, grounded himself in principle, and refused to be ruled by emotion. You don't have to be loud to be strong. You just have to be grounded. When life gets loud, when people criticize, plans fall apart, or stress builds, real strength is choosing not to crumble. It's choosing to respond instead of react, to hold your center, to remember who you are. Building inner strength takes time. It's forged in moments of discomfort. When you get up, even though you're tired. When you speak calmly, even though you're angry. When you choose discipline over impulse. These are your reps. These are your training sessions. The Stoics weren't immune to pain or hardship, but they didn't see those things as enemies. They saw them as training. Every challenge was a chance to grow stronger. Every difficulty, a lesson in endurance. Marcus didn't write about how unfair life was. He wrote about how to meet it with virtue. That's your power too. You can't control every storm, but you can prepare your mind to face them. And the more you do, the more unshakable you become. Don't chase strength that fades with applause. Build the kind that lasts in silence. 4. Be unstoppable. Live with purpose. Purpose is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Without it, we drift. We become slaves to comfort, distracted by trivial things, chasing shallow victories. But with purpose, we're grounded. We know what we're about. We can endure hardship, criticism, boredom, and even failure because we know what we're moving toward. Marcus Aurelius didn't seek fame or luxury. As emperor, he could have indulged in every comfort, but he didn't. Why? Because he was driven by a deeper purpose. He saw his role as a duty to serve, to lead with integrity, to live in accordance with nature and reason. That's what made him unstoppable. Not that he didn't suffer, but that he didn't quit. When you know who you are and what you stand for, life doesn't get easier, but it becomes more meaningful. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "How can I use this?" Obstacles become opportunities. Pain becomes fuel. Every setback is a test of your resolve, and instead of shrinking, you grow. Instead of retreating, you rise. That's the essence of being unstoppable. Not that you never fall, but that you never stop getting up. Purpose simplifies life. It gives you clarity. You no longer chase every whim or trend. You know what to focus on and what to let go. Your energy isn't scattered, it's directed. Your decisions are no longer based on fear, but on principle. So ask yourself, what matters to me? What am I willing to suffer for? What do I want to leave behind? The Stoic doesn't drift through life. They live it. Fully, intentionally, purposefully. You don't need an easy life. You need a meaningful one. Let that be your goal. Let that be your strength. Be unstoppable, not because you never fall, but because your purpose always pulls you forward. 5. Master yourself to conquer all. The greatest struggle any human will ever face is not against an external enemy, but against themselves. The Stoics understood this truth deeply. They believed that if you can learn to master your own mind, your impulses, your fears, your habits, then there is nothing outside of you that can truly conquer you. The world may throw chaos your way, but if your inner world is disciplined, steady, and wise, you remain undefeated. Self-mastery doesn't mean perfection. It means awareness. It means knowing when your anger is about to speak for you and choosing instead to pause. It means recognizing when fear is trying to keep you small and choosing to act anyway. It means breaking the automatic habits that sabotage your potential and replacing them with conscious choices that align with your values. This is not an overnight process. The Stoics believed in daily effort. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his Meditations not to expect others to always be good, but to focus on being good himself. That's the root of self-mastery. Radical ownership of your own character and conduct. Freedom, as the Stoics defined it, was not the ability to do whatever you want. It was the ability to not be ruled by what you want. Desires come and go. Emotions rise and fall. But if you are swept away by every feeling, every craving, every opinion, then you are a slave to your own mind. To master yourself, you must become a student of yourself. Notice your triggers. Observe your patterns. Ask yourself why certain things set you off. Most people go through life reacting without ever questioning where those reactions come from. The Stoic way is different. It's reflective. It's disciplined. It invites you to step back from your emotions and look at them objectively, as if you were watching a play on a stage. When you learn to create that distance, you create power. Power to choose how you respond instead of being hijacked by impulse. Power to act with purpose rather than regret. Power to be the author of your life instead of a victim of circumstance. Self-mastery is the path to inner peace. Because when you are no longer at war with yourself, the outside world loses its grip on you. The opinions of others don't shake you. Temporary setbacks don't define you. Your ego doesn't control you. You become unshakable. Not because the world has become easier, but because you have become stronger. 6. Prepare for life's challenges. Build resilience. Life will test you, not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Difficulty is not an exception. It is part of the deal. The Stoics knew this. They did not waste time wishing for a life without pain or conflict. Instead, they prepared themselves to meet pain and conflict with courage, strength, and clarity. One of the Stoics' most powerful practices was premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This wasn't pessimism. It wasn't anxiety. It was training. They visualized possible hardships, not to become fearful of them, but to be ready. If you imagine the worst with a clear mind, you're less likely to panic if it comes to pass. Like a soldier drilling for battle, preparation builds mental armor. Think of resilience as a muscle. Every challenge you face is a chance to strengthen it. But only if you train properly. If you avoid discomfort at all costs, you weaken. If you meet discomfort with intention and purpose, you grow. The Stoics understood that adversity reveals who we really are. As Epictetus said, difficulties show men what they are. Preparation means more than just imagining adversity. It means aligning your habits and mindset to handle it. Do you practice patience when you're irritated? Do you maintain composure when you're criticized? Do you take responsibility when things go wrong instead of blaming others? These small daily actions are your resilience training. When the storm comes, and it will come, you don't want to be scrambling to build a shelter. You want to already have one. Stoic preparation is about building that inner shelter long before the winds rise. It's about becoming so grounded in principle, in discipline, and in self-awareness that no crisis can knock you down for long. True resilience doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you learn how to move through it without losing your direction. It means you can bend without breaking. It means that when life pushes you to your edge, you remember who you are and why you keep going. 7. Focus is power. Master your attention. In today's world, your attention is under siege. Every notification, every headline, every distraction is trying to pull you away from what truly matters. But what you focus on shapes your life. If you let your attention be scattered, so too will your energy, your purpose, and your progress. The Stoics understood the value of focus long before the age of smartphones. They believed in directing the mind toward what you can control and letting go of what you cannot. This is not just good advice, it is a survival strategy for the modern soul. Attention is like sunlight. Whatever you shine it on will grow. Shine it on your problems, and they'll consume you. Shine it on your goals, and they'll expand. The choice is yours, but only if you take back control of where your mind goes. Focus is power. When you train your mind to stay with one task, one thought, one value, you multiply your strength. You stop being reactive and start being intentional. You stop chasing every thought and start leading your life. How do you build this kind of focus? Start small. Set boundaries. Turn off the noise. Practice silence. Choose what to care about and what to ignore. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every fight is worth entering. The Stoics teach us to focus only on what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, our values. Everything else is a distraction. In a world full of noise, stillness becomes a superpower. When others are drowning in worry or wasting time on gossip, you are calm, clear, and purposeful. That's what it means to master your attention. And in doing so, you master yourself and your future. 8. Speak with purpose. Words are not just sounds. They are tools of influence, of connection, of truth, or deception. The Stoics believed that speech should reflect character. It should be clear, honest, and restrained. Every word we speak either builds something or destroys something. We live in a time of endless chatter. Social media, gossip, arguments. So much of it adds no value. The Stoic approach is the opposite. Speak less, but mean more. Let your words carry weight. Speak only when it improves the silence. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being intentional. Do your words clarify, uplift, or solve problems? Or do they stir up drama, confusion, or resentment? Epictetus said, "First, learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak." That's a call to slow down, to think, and to speak only when you've thought something through. Words can hurt or heal. They can deceive or enlighten. One careless sentence can damage trust. One sincere sentence can restore it. That's why the Stoics believed in using speech wisely, not just to sound intelligent, but to be wise. When you speak, aim for integrity. Don't say what you don't mean. Don't flatter to gain favor. Don't exaggerate to impress. Instead, let your words reflect who you are. Honest, disciplined, strong. Speaking with purpose also means knowing when not to speak. Silence is often more powerful than noise. It shows control. It shows that you're not desperate to be heard, but willing to listen. And when you do speak, people will pay attention, because they know you don't waste your words. Speak with purpose. And let your words, like your actions, serve something greater than ego. So what does it mean to be smart, strong, and unstoppable? It means choosing to live consciously in a world full of distractions. It means anchoring yourself in truth while the world chases trends. It means building a foundation so solid that no storm can shake it. Marcus Aurelius didn't just think these ideas, he lived them. And now, it's your turn. Remember, be smart, be strong, be unstoppable. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment below. What's one area where you're building your inner strength today? You've got this. Stay focused, stay grounded, and keep moving forward.